Hey, this is Tuhon from LightHaven. Today I have something really special for you guys. Tuhon Belton Lubas, my really good friend, my fellow Tuhon, who I first met in the Philippines many years ago. He was just recently in India to conduct a Muay Thai seminar for us at LightHaven, and I got a chance to sit down and ask him, with all of his experience in striking arts, in the grappling arts, in combative sports, and in the Filipino martial arts, the weapon arts, and the Indonesian martial arts, how he, with all of this experience, approaches striking within the Filipino martial arts. So I wanted to ask you about your approaches to striking within FMA, because you have such a wide variety of experiences, from training fighters, from Muay Thai, from Muay Thai, from Silat. How do you apply that to FMA?
If you look at how FMA approaches dirty boxing, panantuk, and empty hand, I take some of the really formal structure of striking and striking in terms like proper striking. And I'm not saying it's not proper, but proper striking as far as form, distribution of power, and all that stuff, that comes from really good Western boxing, Muay Thai. So you take some of the successful sports, okay, and you can apply, just like if you take Dumog and you have some good grappling, and you just take certain principles that can enhance your Dumog. I'm not saying, oh, disregard Dumog, disregard this, disregard BJJ, and I'm not saying disregard FMA, panantuk, and empty hand. I'm saying utilize the knowledge from the other arts and enhance that and clean up your strikes. Because you know, if I'm punching and I'm just punching like that and my wrists are not straight, but if I'm here, okay, bang bang, and I can distribute the force properly with turning my punch over, etc., then I'm gonna get the biggest bang out of my buck. So I take the past experiences or related martial arts and implement that into the art that I'm trying to practice. Vice versa too. Okay, boxing, Muay Thai, and then you'll see some FMA slip in there. So it kind of shares with each other. It's not like I only use boxing stuff in panantukan, but I'll never use panantukan in boxing. There's a relationship, and there's a time and place that one comes out in the other. And I can give you an example. Yeah. Okay, so you take your typical gunting, right? So the cross comes, you got your gunting, right? You get cross comes, you got your check and your parry. But this comes from just parrying, right? So same side. Here's a rule in boxing and in Muay Thai. If I parry, right? So they can see, I parry. Now if I move my head offline, I'm adding a second layer of defense. Now all I'm doing now is just kind of throwing that out there, right? So that looks like almost like long guard too. So that's your Muay Thai, your long guard. If you watch here, so you throw your cross, okay? See, can the camera get that? Good. Okay, so from here, right? So I check that. And by checking that, when he punches, I'm just making sure that I monitor this attack, this other weapon coming at me. Because that could be an elbow, could be anything, right? If he punches, I already have access to that. I can feel it, and I can monitor. I'm aware of that energy, if that makes sense. If I don't want to hit that, I want to split entry, then I can go into my gunting. If I have a blade, so Neha, somebody grab a blade. So if I have a standard grip and the blade and the punch comes and I'm trying to practice my knife, my FMA, okay, and I'm doing my gunting, right? Bang, right? Or I do it empty hand, bang, I turn my knuckles in. Or I don't punch, but I check right here, okay? So it's all the same, and all those come into play, and they relate to each other. And people are like, well, can you pull that off in real time? Have done it. That's the thing most people don't understand. Jab, good. Move around so the camera can follow. Jab cross, good. And jab cross. And to be safe, I'm gonna ask a D, so I'm gonna talk to the camera, go ahead and glove up. Tuhon the D. So as I'm pairing, right, I'm working my timing, we can make it even more realistic, and we can quote unquote pressure test this whole concept, right? Okay, and pressure testing is where people, okay, that's where I know if it works or if it can, versus just drilling, right? Your typical drilling that happens is somebody punches, I'm like, well, I'm gonna gunting here, then I'm gonna pass it through the outside, I'm gonna palace out, I'm gonna hook here, stab here. The punch comes, so I hold, nope, the other one. So here, yeah, exactly, and sometimes too, even in demos, grandmasters will, or masters will be like, no, the other one, okay? We can take all that, increase variability and reality, and make it so random that we'll see if that really truly works, and pressure test that. The right punch comes. So I do this, I gunting, right? Once I slash, for every slash there's a thrust. Here's my thrust, and I go right into a slash. As I pull here, I get underneath, I pull, and I lock and get into this flow. And this is where a lot of that criticism comes in. That stuff will never work. You'll never do that to me. You're not gonna have somebody hold their punch out while I do all this stuff here and get to do all these wonderful moves. I get that, okay? But the most important thing what people are missing is that entry alone, right? So he goes jab. And just to make sure, I'll let him punch me, jab. Good, jab cross. So he's in range, and you guys saw that. You saw I'm not asking him to not hit me. I'm saying hit me, okay? Now I'm gonna ask him again to jab cross and hit me. Good, just regular, faster. There you go. Good. There's my elbow, and that's Panatukan. No, don't slow down. Good. Good. Don't hold it out. Because I'm telling him not to hold it out because of all the criticism that's gonna happen. This happens in social media. All you people who don't train are so quick to judge, don't realize, okay, we're holding it there for a reference point. Hold it out there. It's a reference point. Just to make sure my hand's out of the way. Again, so quick to judge, but what do you think mitt holding is? That's not reality. That's not reality. Why would I put the face there? It's actually here. The only way to get close to reality is really fight, really do a knife fight, really spar, and really hit each other. But we're training. And that's where people don't get that. It frustrates me because it's, I usually have thick skin, but there's so many of this. Less this, more training. People like to talk crap, right? Jab. Good. So I'm gonna tell him he can jab cross and hit me in the face if he wants to. And I might, in camera, might embarrass myself. Good. Don't leave it out there. Good. Good. When I did that, just see if he's still hitting me. Good. Good. I didn't like that energy, so I backed away. There's a cut. There. Chase hands. Here's my cut. Here's my cut. The first cut. Bang, bang. Good thing he has gloves. People like, they'll never work. If I had just this piece of wood and I did that to his knuckles without gloves, it probably wouldn't feel good. Okay, so how do I apply it? Take combat sport sparring, and actually, because we understand that as combat sport athletes / instructors, we understand the safety and how to ramp up, ramp down. Then you apply it, and that's how you can get into a little bit more of what reality-based Panatukan / FMA / whatever. And then you can add the other stuff in. But it does start like this in most schools. Jab, cross, there's your gunting. From here, I cover, see? And then I get here, and here's my break, all right? And then from here, I pull, and there's my elbow into my uppercut, pull, help. We're just training.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, if you learned from what you saw, please do like and share this video. If you have any questions, any comments, leave that in the comments down below. Please do subscribe to the channel. All of these things really do help out the school and the channel a lot. A huge thank you to everybody on our YouTube memberships and everybody on our Patreon page. Thank you guys so much for your support. If you'd like to know more about the exclusive content that we offer on either of those two pages, please do check out the links in the description down below. Thank you, Tuhon Belton. Thank you so much for doing this. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next video.